cloud is bullshit. Okay. Unix is the important thing. TCP/IP is important. Okay. Cloud is just nothing but a bunch of nonsense. But that
Started.
is, yeah, but that is where the money is. But don't tell others that cloud is nonsense. We know that cloud, the person who knows Linux, including networking and TCP, and now you will be learning DNS, how easy it is to move to cloud. Okay. Should be in a matter of weeks. You can switch to any cloud, any Docker, Kubernetes, anything which uses the virtual networks and TCP IP underneath it. The technology will change, but TCP IP and the virtualization has been there since 1950s. They won't change. I don't think they'll change for a very long time either. SSH hasn't changed since 1950s. Okay, 1960s. DHCP hasn't changed. DNS hasn't changed since 1970. Okay, so we should.
Internal protocol means 1990s, right?
Which
But
one?
it's a change. It doesn't change,
Internet.
but as a technology doesn't change. But they made it
Technology has changed.
simplified to use it, isn't it? So we
Technology has
don't need
changed.
to.
Simplify, yes, but see, the cloud, what has it done is more than simplification. Their primary objective was to sell the virtualization technology en masse at a very cheap price. Okay, that is the major benefit which the cloud computing has done. Not saying that there are no benefits of cloud computing, but from an engineer's perspective, a person who has done the Linux and all those things, for him it is easy to switch to cloud. The only thing is that DevOps as a discipline has evolved. That is, see, this, are you seeing this exam? Okay. Now, after I teach you cloud and these things, you guys should be able to crack this exam. Okay, just read this exam once. This is just like a refresher on what skills are expected in the market. Okay, this is one
What is
of
that
the
exam name?
this is the exam conducted by Optech. I don't know from which this is there. I was trying to find the programming channel because in London area you will get an exam. Okay, and things have to work. Okay, you can't just bullshit around and say that okay, there's a load balancer, there's a public, there's private. You have to make the things work. So if you look at it,
Mostly exam is on Terraform, isn't it?
Terraform and shell scripting, little bit of shell scripting and
Yeah.
Dockerfile. Dockerfile again is nothing but if you are not good in Bash shell, you can't compose a good Docker file according to the requirements. 100% guaranteed. See, what they are saying is they have a Dublin center, okay, which has declared bunch of ciders. Okay, all right. And what they are saying is currently, if you look at their code, main.tf, what is it doing? It is just having one VPC and three subnets in three zones. Okay, there is a routing table attached to the this thing, and there is a route enabled for this, and there is a route table has been associated with all three subnets that are there, and they are launching one simple Apache instance, okay, Nginx instance there, and they are protecting some basic security for no,
Inbound,
they are
outbound.
allowing the inbound traffic to 80 and 443 from the whole world. Okay, that is what they are doing currently. Now, what they are saying is, okay, first basically test that everything works on your machine. Now, what they want to do is they want to move to our customers in the US. So what they are saying is they want you to build the same stack, leaving the existing one in place. Okay. Um, Feel free to modify the code and or structure as much as we are ready to do. You will need to go as far as setting up a remote state, but basically they are saying each one should have its own, okay, should have its own state. Now that requirement I'll have to see because I've always used the remote state, not the local state, whether we can do it with this with that way. But main thing is let us we have to read the entire question paper. Okay, this is only thing that on local machine how to do it. I'll have to just little bit cautiously I'll have to think about it. As for the CIDR, the new VPC should feel like it is compliant with RFC 1918. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, 172.16 we can use, 192.168 we can use. because Dublin is already using 10.0. But then there are AWS specific quirks, okay, that they don't allow CIDRs less than 16. Reason is while every system has to be TCP compliant, what they have done is they have done a synthetic ARP. Okay, basically what they have done is they have their hyperplane architecture, okay, which is their patented technology of how they actually capture the packets from VMs, but then modify it. It is synthetic ARP. It will still respond to ARP responses and everything, but they intercept the packet in between rather than routing it through the network, and they modify it in such a way that everything again looks like TCP/IP. Okay, that is their main strength. Okay, that hyperplane technology is what they use to actually make it everything look like TCP, but at the same time support virtualization on such a massive scale. Okay, but that is a detail, but we can leave all of it. For now, we can say that everything is TCP IP, except that AWS says you have to start all CIDRs with 16. So either you can choose 172.168, 172 dot something, or 192.168. This is open book, so you can go and search in the internet what the RFC 1918 CIDRs are. Okay, this is open book, open this thing. Now, Virginia has several availability zones. We want to use 4. Yet we still want to run the stack in Ireland using the same 3 availability zones. Now modify the Virginia stack to spawn 4 AZs, but consider that we would like to see the reuse of code. Okay. So basically, unless somebody knows the concept of Terraform module, they won't be able to satisfy this requirement. What they will do is they will copy and paste this entire code. Okay, all right. And they'll copy and paste this entire code. What happens with that approach is, if you copy and paste the entire code, right, you are making a big mess out of the whole situation. Now it will cost, instead of one DevOps engineer to do the entire this thing, if done properly, if you do such garbage work, what happens? You will have to hire 3 or 4 people. Okay, so that's not a good idea. Okay, instead of automation, you are increasing more work on the company, for which you will have to hire more resources, or you will have to spend up, slogging all day in and day out, maintaining the Terraform code. So the Terraform code, any code should be modular, refactoring all those nice exercises, which I'm going to teach when we are going to take up Terraform. Those need to be implemented. Okay, plus iteration. Okay, a lot of people don't know how to iterate, because Terraform iteration, conditionals, and use of functions is the key thing which makes up a normal developer to a one who can actually clear their requirements. Okay, all right. So then it is said, however you like, but consider we would like to see the reuse of code. Okay, so that is the thing. Next, the EC2 instance running Nginx went over the weekend. We have an outage. It's been decided that we need a solution that is more resilient than just a single instance. Please implement a solution that you are confident would continue to run in the instance of one instance goes down. Okay, so what will you do basically?
Auto scaling.
Auto scaling you can do, that's good. Okay, or you can launch another instance in another subnet and then put auto scaling. When you put auto scaling, you have to put a load balancer in front of it, because the entry point for the customers, you can't have multiple. If you launch auto scaling group, what happens? You can't give public IP to each of the auto scaling member, right? So you'll have to put a load balancer across the auto scaling group. Okay. Now, what are they saying? We are looking to improve the security and segregation of our network. We have decided we would like private subnets that are not addressable on the internet. However, the private subnets should have the egress internet connectivity. That is, basically, we need to create private subnets. That is what AWS recommends. Everybody recommends that load balancer be on the public subnets, and for security purposes, all your boxes should be on the private subnets. Okay, that is the best practice which needs to be followed. Okay, we will that is a thing. Okay, but that is not that is a best practice thing. Next, fifth, finally, what they are saying, to provide a consistent environment in terms of the continuous integration server on each engineer's workstation, we have decided it would make to sense to run Terraform. They want to run in a Docker container. Okay. Then they are saying create a Docker file and a wrapper script that will enable this. Now they didn't say that wrapper script is shell, but you can use Python also or anything. Just make it work in Docker. Okay. The script should be callable with the same arguments as the Terraform command line tool, that is init, plan, and apply. So if somebody is able to do this only, they will get a good job. Okay, I don't know who has actually placed this. Okay, this is some of the Optech. What is Optech? Okay, so this is okay. So this is basically, I don't know. He's maybe looks like a person. Only Tech. Okay, so this is what they want you to do. Okay, anyway, so this is some of the Terraform exercise which I have found on internet. Looks like to be an interview question. Okay, looks like to be an interview question. Okay, this is an exercise used to filter interview candidates by assessing and use of infrastructure as a code tooling. Okay, we advise you to use this version. We have Terraform. I don't know. I think a person with good Terraform skills should be able to complete this maybe in 2 to 4 hours. Between 2 to 4 hours, you should be able to complete all this assignment. Okay. If you are really good, yeah, it takes about 2 hours to complete this assignment. Okay. Anyway, that is something that remember what we have to aim for. So just keep that in mind when you are attending my classes. All right. So today what we will do is we'll finish the DNS part. For that, what I want you guys to do is I have created a Git repo in which I have automated all the setup. Okay. So this is YV Reddy DevOps. Is this the one your Venkat? Is this your ID currently? Hello. Hello.
Yes, Arvind. Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's the one.
Okay. So Abhijit is what is your ID? Abhijit's ID?
03. Shall I send it on?
Yeah, just pull it up because what I have done is I have checked in some Terraform code. Okay. And we'll take it from that particular scenario. Okay. So
1 second. I'll ping you. Ping you
yeah.
the ID.
So what I want you to do is basically I wanted to automate all the steps, but 2 steps are not automated. Maybe after this class or within the class we'll automate it. We'll see how it goes. When I give you some task to do, you guys might while you are busy with those tasks, I will complete the DNS demo AWS. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what I need is this Terraform code is there, LL. Okay, so Vim, what do you need? Okay, so basically what we need is science dot, no, I just wanted to modify one of this thing because I don't want you guys to incur a lot of charges, but you'll just see that when, okay, code dot. See, the thing is, I would like to switch to either IntelliJ or to this one, but each one seems to be having one good features with Terraform, which is very important. Without IDE support, it's very painful to compose Terraform scripts. Okay, all right. So what we need is variables. See, basically all that we need is we need one server B. Okay, we need one server C. All right. Okay, just a minute. Abhijit O3. Okay, just a minute. Abhijit O3. I have it already set up on my this repository. So you have the AWS CLI installed. You have Terraform working on your machines, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can pull the Terraform code and you can just deploy it, right? Okay. So basically, security, manage and access. Okay, yeah. So basically, invite a collaborator, Abhijit03. Okay, next, add Abhijit and to this repository. And what I'll do is I'll just, in fact, you don't even have to wait for you can go and check in the message. But what you can do is, Abhijit, if you click on this link, right,
Yes,
and
Anna. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
yeah, just clicking on that link itself that's something that I have discovered. So I don't know, sometimes the GitHub doesn't seems to be like responding
Yeah.
properly. Venkat, you also just if you have it ready made, just give me your this thing.
Okay.
Manage access, right? Manage access. Because I wanted to keep it private because there are some SSH keys. Usually nothing happens, but that is there. Okay. So yeah, just send that one. Okay. Why do we need server? We just need server B. We need server C. Why we need it? This one will be just a primary server, primary name server. Okay. And this one we need secondary name server. Okay. Secondary name
Yeah,
server.
I've accepted the
Yeah.
invitation.
Okay. And then we need science server. So what we'll do is for now we'll just comment out this thing. Right. I hope it still works. Right. Well, we don't need to incur so much cost. That's the whole reason why I'm commenting it out. Only thing is Bastion will always be there. We don't need, okay, a science server, we will keep it. Okay, because we are going as far as delegating this thing. Forward and reverse zones we will do on one servers, B and C. Science server, we will do it. We'll not set up slave servers for science. We'll just redirect the traffic because that will actually illustrate major learning points of the DNS, setting up of the DNS server. Because I want to save money because I'm already running out of the EC2 700-hour limit. Of course, it will be after this month is over, I'll get another 700 hours. But for this month, I just want to see to it that we don't cross the 700 limit. Okay, so just that's done. Okay, I just want to do Terraform. Enter a secure. No, I don't want to do it this way. Okay, right. And then okay, Terraform plan, right? Let me see whether the plan is working. Okay, looks like the plan is working. Okay, what I'll do is I'll also deploy it out so that I just can verify quickly. So briefly, the setup that I'm going to describe, it will create one VPC. It will create one public subnet. Okay,
Yeah.
and then it will launch 4 machines. Okay, and to make our life simpler, I have also copied the SSH keys as part of the Terraform code within the shell script. Okay,
But I think we should change the public IPs, right, or no?
public IPs
Mentioned
is
in the
public.
Terraform code.
No, no. Public IPs. I'm not locking the IPs for the public IPs. Public IPs, I have left them open because if we see if you want a fixed public IP, we have to pay for it. Okay, we have to attach an elastic IP address to it. It will cost us money. So right now for that we don't need it. For entire DNS service, we are going to test everything using the private IP. So basic thing is what you're going to get is yeah, okay, let me just apply this so that you will see what is going to happen. Okay, and I'll quickly demo it. Almost all steps are automated except 2 steps are not automated, which I'm planning to do it because I want to use this Terraform code to learn all the other services. Okay, we have to learn Nginx and Varnish, all those services. I don't want to waste time again, setting up SSH keys, setting up all those things which is taking long time. Okay, it's wasting our time. So that's why I've automated all these things. Next stage, I would also like to use some Ansible code to automate some of the not the thing that we are learning, we will not automate, because first thing is, if you want to learn something new, you have to first do manually, get the concepts right, understand what is there. So automation will be, in this particular setup, understanding DNS is more complicated than writing an Ansible file. After you learn DNS, then it's a different thing. Okay, so I will apply it. Just let me check that everything is all fine before I ask you guys to do the same thing as this. Okay, so the first step is you have to do Terraform apply. What it will do is it will create a VPC with a internet gateway so that you have a route to the public internet. Okay, all right. And it also creates a private SSH key. And in the Git repo, I have created a SSH key called machine underscore RSA, which will let you jump onto any of those boxes. Okay. There are 3 steps that you need to manually do it, which I will send them to you. Simple commands that will be doing. Okay. So what it does is it creates a Bastion host. Even though it's a Bastion, it is in the same subnet. Usually this site of setup, Bastion is only put in the public subnet and other 3 are put in the private subnet. Okay. But I'm ignoring that requirement for now. Okay. Because our focus is not in learning AWS, but first learning the DNS service in its purity. Okay. So you will get a Bastion IP. Okay, and if you after you lose also, there is one simple command called as Terraform output, which will again give you the IP address of this thing. Okay. So first is just do a quick eyeball verification that nothing serious is happening on your website, nothing like no major resources. What you should see is you should just see a separate VPC. Okay, you should just see a one new VPC. Hopefully your VPC is clear. What is happening? Okay. So there is a default VPC and then there is a DNS VPC. Okay. This is the VPC which we are going for today's practice. Okay. And then what we will have is basically DNS VPC, and then we will have the EC2 engine. Okay, how many machines are running? Okay, all right. So basically, I have kept 2 other machines somehow running. But in your case, you should see only 4 micro instances with server B, Science server, server C, and a Bastion host. Okay, so that's all you should see. You should see anything more than that. I was actually practicing Terraform yesterday because for the first time, everything was very overwhelming for me because the whole language, the material that was given, everything is new. So now, second time Terraform, I know that you should be concentrating on the data structures, specifically dictionaries and the keys and values and iterations. Okay, dynamic for each, and then count, and then the functions. Okay, when we come to Terraform, we will come there, but let me just clear some of the garbage, some of the other resources that have been created out of the practice. Okay, so this is the advanced Terraform. Okay, not basic Terraform. This is advanced Terraform. Okay, see, right now we are covering all the loose ends. Our Unix skills should be in a decent state. Okay, configuring the repos, understanding the network card. Okay, debugging the single, uh, debugging networking on a single network card. Okay, using Nmap, Telnet, SS, that one. Okay, then SE Linux, and then and then what else? Okay, SE Linux, adding permissions, sudos, they should all be, very clear. Okay, because without that, believe me, you won't make go far in life for with the DevOps. They should all be in fingertips. Okay, plus partitioning disks, file system mounting, okay, and then the SSH. Okay, I not only gave you spent a lot of time because SSH is so important. Whether wherever you want to connect, SSH will come. Ansible completely SSH dependent. Okay, Git SSH dependent. AWS, this one is a Git compliant repository. Code commit, complete SSH, connecting everywhere. Okay, SSH is the this one. All the properties you need to know. Authorized keys, private key pair, public key pair, user. Okay, what are the right permissions on it? Okay, and making SSH listen on the non-standard port. All those steps, even in sleep, you should be able to tell SSH. Okay, then we have also learned, even though RHSCA tests client, NFS client, and the Samba client, I have given the. Did anybody test that shell script that I have given for SSH for Samba server and NFS server? Because for practice, you just need to run that and it will set up all the servers for you. Did anybody test it? Hello? You know, the shell script that I have done to create the, Samba server.sh and NFS. This is a better script for installing. Samba, we had a problem, right? Okay, NFS server,
Yeah.
Samba server.
SE Linux.
SE Linux permissions. NFS, because when you are getting ready for exam, you don't want to be wasting time on, exam only tests your ability to do the work fast. Okay, they will already tell you where the NFS server is, and you just need to be able to mount the NFS service properly. Okay, so for practice that one, you just have to create one NFS server on one machine and note down that IP address and make sure that you have the NFS client utilities properly set up and mount it. Samba also same thing. Okay, we have set up the Samba server. All that we need to do is use Samba client to actually mount it. So that's why I have automated them so that we don't waste time for the NFS services. But in doing so, you also now have a good idea on, not detailed, but at least decent idea on, if somebody stays NFS server, at least looking at documentation, you should be able to do it. Okay. But today, anyway, we are starting on DNS service. When we will again cover, see, RHSCA covers clients, chronic clients, NFS, DNS, no, not DNS client, this thing. Okay. But RH358, which is what the certified engineer exam is, all of them have now services. Okay. And all services, if you become master, uh, there are 5 services which you should they test. Okay, one is the NFS, DNS and DHCP are at the heart of networking. Okay, because if you don't understand DHCP or DNS, even when you go into the cloud or with the Kubernetes, you will have a lot of struggle. Okay, because Kubernetes relies especially heavily on DNS to do its work. Okay, so if you are planning to do Kubernetes administrator without having a good grip on how DNS works, you will struggle a lot. Kubernetes relies on that plus the networking concepts that I have taught you. Okay, not the single card networking. Single card networking is like compulsory. It's a prerequisite. Without understanding single card networking, you will not be able to understand routing across 2 networks. You will not be able to routing across the asynchronous zones. Everything will be Maya Mithya Mata. Okay, everything will appear like magic. It will go straight above your head. Okay, so at the end of the day, what should happen is you should only see 4 servers. Okay, don't do anything, just watch my steps. So the first command is Terraform apply. Okay, the next command is basically on your root folder. Okay, so if I do a tree dot, okay, on your root folder, there you should see a file called machine_rsa. Okay, now all you need to do is jump to the Bastion server. Okay, with that. So Terraform out, just a quick check. Okay, that's the first step is Terraform apply. Okay, first check is Terraform apply on the root folder. Okay, Terraform apply. Second step is basically jumping to the Bastion host with this public IP address. Okay, So SSH minus I. And what is the Bastion host? What is the machine underscore RSA? Okay, machine underscore RSA root at the rate Bastion. Okay, sorry. So that is the Bastion. Okay, that is the step. Whatever is your Bastion thing. Okay, in fact, let me do this. Okay, this will make our life even better easier. Okay, Terraform output. Terraform output. Okay, so by just let me said for everybody this should have a consistent experience at 1p. Okay, because everyone is testing this. Okay, you saw the exam, right? Without level having this level of pipelining and sudden doc, this level of basic to intermediate, this thing you will not be able to clear that exam. Okay, right? And then minus f. What is it? Okay, and then that is simply equal to print $2. Yeah, so that is simply equal to print $2. Okay, so that should be there. Okay, so the second command should be ssh minus I machine underscore RSA dollar and then Terraform, right? Okay, so that is simply equal to this thing. Okay, authenticity. Yeah, so just check it. Okay, why authenticity can't be established? Move disconnect. Okay, that is because I am trying to directly connect. The user should be NSL root. Okay, so basically you can connect to your machine. The second step will be to connect from this machine. Okay, so that is the second step, and do a ping just because each private IP address on all of them. But right now, what is missing is in order to ping each of the servers, what I would like to do is I would like to say server A. Okay, but that is not there. That's the only step that has not yet been automated directly via Terraform code. So what you need to do is, what do you need to do, Venkat or Abhijit? If I have to do like that, you need what? What do you need?
Change the config files.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is a config file. There is a config file, but I have prepared that config file. I just want to see that there is a bastion.tar. Okay. In the bastion.tar, I have put it. Okay. Tar tvf bastion.tar. Okay. So there is an SSH config file. So you can just do ztvf or what is it? Tar zcat. What is it? This is a car. Okay. Tar tvf cat. Okay, so basically, what is it? Zcat is for this one. Tar. Uh, okay, let's not play with it right now. Okay, let's do it the simply thing. Let's not get distracted. Okay, so Bastion, this thing. Okay, so what happens is then you will have one folder called as when you do XPF, you will have a folder called SSH config file. So the next step is basically because you are a root user, just take a quick look at that sh config file. Okay, see there is a root hyphen machine.rsa. That is where the private key needs to go. Okay, so let's quickly get over that one. Okay, so ssh minus I what is it, sh minus I slash home sh minus I dot ssh slash config dot ssh slash sh minus I, not scp. Okay, so SSH minus I. Instead of SSH, now the third step will be to just do SCP, okay, from local machine. So basically dot SSH slash config. Okay, SCP minus I. Okay, so basically all that then I need to do is root at the rate. Okay, where do I need to take it? I need to take it to colon slash root slash machine underscore RSA. Okay, so I need to go, just that's all I need. Okay, and I need to take the same file again here. So this should be the third command. Okay, in fact, if you do this, that should be enough. Okay, so Terraform colon slash root slash escape insert. Insert is, where is the insert? Where is the insert? Machine underscore RSA. Right. So basically dot slash machine underscore RSA root. Okay, so that's all we have to do it. Now. Okay, looks like it has gone there. And then I also need to change one more thing, that is basically SSH on the dot slash SSH slash config. This is the only step that I was not, I didn't find time to, I was trying to do it with local exec. Maybe I should do it with local exec. Unprotected, permission R2. Is it required that? No, I didn't want to do that. Okay. I just want, I don't want to do that. I just have to get it to, this is, see, this waste a lot of time. Okay. All right. So those are the two commands that you need to run. Okay. And next, so I'll just type those commands to you guys. Okay. So you can just do, no, this is not possible. C21082109. Right. So basically what we need is, these are the two commands. After you do the Terraform as, no, you don't have to do all these things actually. Terraform apply, you just need to do this. And finally, you just need to do this. Okay. So that way you will be on the machine directly. Okay. Escape shift. Okay. Let's see. There is some more problem here. SH9. See, what I need to do is I need to say Control Z, Control C, and then there is a Control V, and then we need to be able to get from here. And then now we need to do SSH minus I. So all I need to do is get up from here and get into this thing, rooted the bastion. Okay, see, everything is now set up for you. Okay, so now if you do SSH tab bash completer, okay, SSH, no, it's not there. Okay, so Vim, I thought I installed Vim. Okay. Minus dot sh. Okay, what happened? SCP minus I. Oh, I see. Okay. See, I gave you the root slash dot ssh slash config. Okay, right. So basically, source is slash sh slash config. Okay. Yeah. So next we just go here. ll minus a dot sh. Yeah. So now if you look at it, SSH, right? So you should see science server A, server B, okay, server chemistry, server biology. But of course, this will not work because I didn't copy the key correctly. Okay, so this command is definitely right. So this is the second command that is going to take the configuration file out to that particular machine. Okay. Okay, and now all that we need is this thing. Okay, yeah. So then that is the configuration file, right? So that is simply equal to scp minus I, that is simply equal to this thing. No, machine underscore rsh. Yeah. Hopefully now we got everything in right order. Okay, so these are the only 4 commands that you will need in addition to do this, and then you will be properly on the box. Okay. All right. LL. Okay, so now if I do server like this SSH server and do a tab, okay, bash completer is also there. All the tools that are required to. That would be something if this doesn't work. It's timing out. Oh, that's true, right? The only thing is we don't have science server. Okay, we have only server B. Okay. Whatever is there visible only, because I wanted to the config file should be modified, but right now let's leave it. Okay. SH server C. You should be able to quickly test SH server T, and then we need one more server, science server. Okay. Yes, that's it. Okay. I'll send you these commands. Can you guys quickly set up this environment and do a quick test? Okay. Terraform apply. Pull the code and then do it. Okay. All right, Venkat and Abhijit, ready? Venkat, are you there? Hello?
Yeah. Can you send me the link, GitHub link?
GitHub link, okay. GitHub.
The which
Wait.
you sent to the Abhijit is not working for me.
No, that one is for Abhijit only. Just a minute, don't use that link. Push. Okay, so this is your ID. Okay,
Yeah.
this is your ID. Wait, hang on. Why we ready? DevOps. Okay. So now all that we need is DNS server here. Okay, apulujala/learn DNS. Okay, and then I'll have to add you. First of all, manage access. Who has access? Invite a collaborator. Okay. DevOps to this thing. Okay, so what we need is there is a pending invite. Copy the link here. Okay, and then you will be able to get here. Okay, see. Venkat, when you click on it, Avijit, are you able to pull the code in? Hello? No, maybe I didn't push. Is it? No, wait. Just don't pull it in. Don't pull it in yet. Okay, because I need to push few changes, right? Okay. Don't pull it yet. Okay. and git push. Yeah. Okay, so you will be able to now get the entire Git repo and everything finally there. Okay, did you get it? Just pull the code in and run those 4 commands that I have given you. Okay, Terraform apply this, and then quickly when you after you do an apply, make sure that only 4 instances are there. It's not doing any problem. Okay, server B, sign server C. Only 4 servers you should see. Got it right, Venkat and Abhijit?
Yeah.
Okay. Then run those 4 commands. The final command is basically letting you jump onto the Bastion. Okay. Just give me about 5 minutes. I'll just go to